Hold on, I need to get some water for this because this is where the tea is. Hi loves, so today I'm going to give you guys every single detail you need to know regarding the COVID-19 test in Ghana. So if you're traveling very soon, this video is meant for you. Make sure to stay tuned and watch the entire video without skipping any parts. Also, make sure to subscribe, like, share, comment, ask as many questions as you want, and I'm going to answer them for you. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Right, so to many of you that do not know, I recently left Ghana to London, and that was way back in October. So it's been almost 2 months now. Yeah, almost 2 months now. Before I left Ghana, I had to take my COVID-19 test, which is mandatory for everyone boarding a flight to have their test results on them before leaving Ghana. So in Ghana, there are some accredited facilities that have been permitted to take up to perform these tests. Now, I personally took my test at Noguchi Research Test Center located at Legon. There are some other facilities that have been accredited. I'm going to put the list somewhere here or here. So just stay tuned and watch it. I'm also going to drop a link in the description box so you can click on it and it will refer you to a site where they have listed all these clinics or facilities there. Now, a friend recommended Noguchi to me. I did not know and I didn't do my research, but a friend recommended Noguchi to be one of the fastest places to get your test done. Now at Noguchi, you don't have to book an appointment. You only need to walk in and then get your test taken. But there are some things you need to consider before you go for the test. Now, you need your passport and you need your test fee. So these two things are certain things you need to bear in mind before you go for your test. So I left Ghana on a Tuesday, which was, I left Ghana on a Tuesday. So I had to go and get my test done on the Monday prior to my departure. Now, one thing about the COVID test is the test result is valid for 72 hours, meaning that after 72 hours, your test result is basically invalid. You cannot use it anywhere or it's going to be rejected wherever they ask for it. So you need to take your COVID-19 test prior to your departure or within that 72-hour time frame, depending on the hours you're going to be on your flight and the distance and whatever. You have to consider all those factors. So I went to Noguchi on a Monday. I went there around 8 a.m. Now Noguchi doesn't operate during the weekends. I'm not sure they operate during the weekends, but I went there on a Monday. So when I got there on a Monday, I got there around 8 a.m. 8 a.m. 8:30. When I got there was already a queue there, so I just had to join the queue. Now the good thing is, if you go there early enough, you're not going to join a long queue, so meaning you're going to be going very fast. So I get to Noguchi, I go through the safety protocols. They check my temperature. You need to be in a nose mask, so make sure you're in your nose mask. So I wash my hands and I get seated. So now there are two queues. There's one queue that you need to sit in and it will get you to the payment desk, and there's another queue that's going to lead you to where you're going to take the test. But these two queues are all under like one tent. So basically there's a big tent and then there's a division where they are performing the test, and they have where you can get seated. So it's a cute setup that has been created close to the Noguchi building itself. So it's not inside the building, it's outside the building. So when you enter, they're going to direct you, they're going to direct you to where they're having the test. So you just need to let the security at the gate know what you're going to do there. So I go in and I wash my hands and I'm seated waiting to do my payment. So now when you sit down, there's going to be a health personnel who's going to come in front and brief you guys on the procedure or what you guys are going to be doing there. So at this point you get to know exactly what you'll be doing in terms of where you're going to move from to where, and then to where, and then to there. So they tell you everything. So another thing you need to consider is the test fee. Now the test fee for Noguchi is 350 Ghana cedis. 350 Ghana cedis, not more, not less, guys. So it's 350. When you go, then they ask for 400. Honey, I don't know about 400. When you go and they ask for 500, I didn't mention 500 because my friend told me they're going to ask for 350, and when I went there, I carried 350 in cash on me, and that's what they asked for. Now I don't know about other facilities, but at Noguchi it's 350 Ghana cedis. I'm not sure if they take mobile money. I'm not sure if they take it in card payments, but just make sure you have 350 in hard cash. Another thing you need is your passport, not in photocopy, not in soft copy, the booklet itself. So make sure you're carrying the booklet and your 350 Ghana cedis. So I sit down in the queue waiting to go do my payment. The health personnel comes, briefs us on whatever we're going to be doing in terms of which queue leads to what. And so the queue is moving fast, pretty fast. And when it gets to your 10, or when it got to my 10, I move inside and there's a cashier. So basically this man at the cashier desk is going to ask you for your test fee. You're going to give him the 350, and then he's going to issue you a receipt. Now when he issues you a receipt, he might write a batch number, or either the batch number is already on the receipt. Now this batch number is going to help them locate your test results in case of any emergency. So he issues you a receipt. He asks you for your flight details, and you need to tell him. So when you are done with his section, you move out, join the second queue, which leads to where you're going to have the test taken. Now good thing is when you go in the morning, the queue moves really fast, so you don't have to wait for so long. But I mean, just bear in mind you might meet people there because some people come from far and all of that. So you go into the second queue and then like move as it goes. So in the second queue, when it's your turn and you go inside, there's another desk, or there's another point where you need to go, and then they would collect your receipt, basically check your receipt and ask you for some personal information like your email address, like your phone number, maybe your passport number, just to cross check, and then put in some details in a booklet that they have there. Now these people are going to ask you for your flight details again, which is very important that you give them the specific information about your flight. They're going to ask for the name of your flight, the time of departure, the day of departure, and yeah, these three basic things about your flight. Now the reason is some airlines would request for your information, that is who has come to this test facility to get their test done, so that when you're boarding they will cross check these names. So before, when we're seated and waiting to start the procedure, the health personnel came to inform us, or came to ask us, that whoever is going on Emirates should come forth and then come and put their name down, because Emirates has requested for everybody's name, like those who are going to board the Emirates flight. So basically they'll take your name and they'll send this list to Emirates so they can cross check before you board the flight. So that is why they need these flight details. Secondly, they need to prioritize who's leaving on this date and who's leaving on this day, so they can be able to get the test done accordingly, or to distribute the results accordingly, and not like delay anybody really. So you give them your test, you give them your flight details, and then you move to the next point. You move to the next point, which is where you're gonna have your test taken. Now guys, this is where I had a problem. Honestly, this is where I honestly had a problem here, because I mean, I didn't do my research. Number one, I didn't have any idea of how the test was going to be done. I literally didn't know what was going to be done. I didn't know how, so I just went there with a blank mind about the test. I just thought it was going to be like maybe some simple thing and then you're gone. So this is me. Hold on, I need to get some water for this because this is where the tea is. I actually needed this water. So I sit down. There's an elderly woman who's supposed to do the test. She goes like, do so I'm like, okay, I do and then she sticks a swab in my throat. So she digs it in like 2 or 3 times. Now mind you, this woman hasn't told me what they're going to do. This woman hasn't briefed me like we're going to do this or we're going to do that. All she says is do and then she sticks something in my throat. Normally when you go to the clinic, they're supposed to they tell you what you're going to be doing. They mentally prepare you so that you psych yourself up and then endure whatever is going to happen to you. But she didn't inform me. So well, she sticks the swab in my throat and obviously she's going to take a fluid sample from my throat. So she sticks the swab in my throat about 3 to 4 times, puts it in a tube, labels it with my name and seals it, and then that's done. So after she was done with this part, I honestly thought this was the test, and I was about to pack my bags and leave because I didn't want to have it again, because even with the throat sampling thing, it was a bit painful. Now she's like, hold on. I mean, she was like, I should lean back, raise my head up so that she takes, she didn't even say take it, she would take another sample, but she was like, I should lean back and then lift my head up. So I'm like, wait, hold on, there's gonna be another test. In my head, I didn't know what was going on because she didn't inform me, she didn't brief me, nothing. So I'm just sitting there expecting to be told something because I was ignorant. I didn't do my research, which is bad. So guys, do your research before you go. But then again, I'm giving you the information now, but you can do further research. Don't be like me. So I lift my head up, stick my, bring my head forward, and then she gets another swab, sticks it in my nose. And guys, this is where the pain, like I've never, and I will never want to go through that pain again, because that was an excruciating pain. It was an excruciating pain and it was awful. Like she did not mentally prepare me for that at all, and I wish that part would have actually been briefed earlier so that I know that it's painful, but no one told me and I completely didn't know how I was going to feel. So she stuck the swab in my nose, stuck it in, kept digging. Man, I didn't know what she was looking for, but I just felt she was going to the wrong side of my nose. Like I don't know what was going on in my nose, but all I know was it was hell. It was painful. So she finally found whatever she was looking for in my nose, got the fluid sample, put it in a tube, labeled it with my name and sealed it, and then finally the wahala was over, guys. Finally. And at this moment I was one of the happiest people on earth because I was so relieved. And trust me, after having this particular procedure, you would be happy, you would be very relieved, because the pain is unbearable. So that's just about the test. So after she was done, she asked me for my flight details, which I told her. Like I went with I went with Turkish Air. So I gave her my flight details, the day of departure, time of departure, and everything. Now, another important thing I left out was at Noguchi, they inform you that your test results will be ready between 24 to 48 hours. So if your flight is, let's say I went there on a Monday, but I didn't go and have my test taken. My flight wasn't leaving on a Monday, but I went on a Monday. So if your flight's leaving on a Tuesday, you need to go on a Monday. If your flight's leaving on a Wednesday, depending on the time, you need to go on Monday or Tuesday. But to be safer, you need to go on the Monday. So you can fall within the 24 to 48 hour time frame. And also bearing in mind the 72-hour time frame so that it's still valid. Right, so I told her that my flight will be leaving tomorrow, which is Tuesday, around 7:30 p.m. So she was like, they're going to try to see what they can do because it was quite fast and I need to come earlier to get the results. So they'll see if they can get the test done faster and get my results finished faster. So I mean, I thanked her and I was really hoping I would get my test results like early in the day before I leave for the airport. So I went home, went about my activities. Now on Tuesday I went there in the morning just so I can get everything sorted before leaving for the airport later in the day. So I went there in the morning, got there, asked them if my results were ready. Now if you're going for your results, make sure you carry your receipt with you. Do not leave your receipt at home. So they will need this in order to get your results for you. So I went there, showed them my receipt, and they said it wasn't ready. Now at this point I panicked a bit because because I told the lady I'll be leaving on Tuesday evening and I need to check in around 4. I thought by morning 8:10, 9:10 it's going to be ready, but it wasn't ready. So they said I should go home and come back at 3 p.m. guys. So at 3 p.m. I'm like, wait, what if I'm coming from Soweto? What if I'm coming from Kaswa? What if I'm coming from like Tema? How am I going to commute this distance and then come back without no certainty? Like there's no certainty really. So how am I going to know that my test results will be ready? And you need to catch a flight as well, so you need to bear that in mind, like the timing, the check-in time, all of that. So luckily for me, I live very close to Noguchi, so I mean I'm thankful. So I was like, no problem. I rushed home, went about my last minute packing. I left home around 3:10. So I was heading to the airport, so I left home around 3:10, passed through Noguchi. So I got to Noguchi around 3:30. So I got at 3:30 and I showed them my receipt and they said it wasn't ready. Guys, they said it wasn't ready. So at this point I was like, wait, it's 3:30 and my test results isn't ready. Am I going to go to the airport to check in and come back and get my, like, what am I going to do really? How will I even check in without the test results? And I can't go to the airport without it. Like, it's one of the major documents I need to carry on. It's like my passport number 2. So at this point I'm panicking. Like, I started panicking, guys. So please, before you go, make sure you have all these calculations in mind. Before you are booking your flights, calculate all the time. Make sure you've put in mind the timing and everything so that you wouldn't be stranded. So they were like, I should give them some time. I should wait for like 30 minutes or so. So they get my receipt. They go upstairs to see if they could check out and see if it was ready. They come back and they tell me that they had to redo my test because I was part of a certain batch that had a problem with their results, so they had to redo our test. I'm like, okay, so how long is this going to take? They said they're almost done, but they're just printing out the results, so it's going to take a minute or two. Like, I mean, it's going to take a short while basically. So I'm like, okay, that's good news. So they go back inside and we end up waiting for over 45 minutes and they're still not back. So finally around 4:45, almost 5 o'clock, one lady comes down with a bunch of results or papers. I'm gonna put the picture of how the test results look somewhere here. So she comes out with this test results and finally mine is back. Now it's 4:45 or almost 4:45, 5 o'clock ish, and I need to rush to the airport. So I get the results quickly I head to the airport. And the good thing is Noguchi and the airport is just like 10 to 15 minutes drive. I mean, with no traffic, 10 to 15 minutes drive. And luckily there was no traffic that day. I mean, it was a Tuesday and a working day, but there was no traffic, so I was quite surprised. But then again, it was good news for me. So I got to the airport. I was able to check in at the immigration checkpoint. They would ask for your results, and you just have to provide it, show it to them. They will not take it, and then that's it. But like I said, depending on every flight, it might be different, because with Turkish they didn't check when I was boarding, or they didn't cross-check any names, nothing. So you guys must know what flight you are taking and know their requirements, because it might differ from every flight and their procedure. And also consider the transit points or the transit countries or cities, so that you will know if they'll require the COVID-19 test check or whatever. So when I got to London, I think they checked it again and they took the test results. I'm not too sure, but I think they took it or something like that. So that's just about it. So if you find this video helpful, or if you have any questions, make sure to drop it in the comment section down below. And I'm also gonna drop every link regarding this regarding the test taking, especially the facilities. I'm gonna drop the link in the description box, so you can get to know which facility is convenient for you. Now they have, I think, 1 or 2 facilities in Kumasi or so. So everything is gonna be in the description box, or I'm gonna put it somewhere here. So if you find this video very helpful, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of the good stuff. And yeah, stay tuned, or I'll see you in my next video.